As musicians, we often have a need to create graphic designs and artwork for album artwork or for social media content or creating posters for gigs, and we don't always have the resources to hire a graphic designer every time we need something like that. So there are free tools, and the most popular one right now is Canva. However, Canva does have some limitations, so if you want to create really amazing graphics, sometimes you can't always use Canva. One of my favorite tools to use for something like that is Photoshop. But the problem with Photoshop is that you have to collect a certain amount of coins every year to keep that going on your computer. When I say coins, I'm talking about a couple $100s a year. And it's a subscription-based software. So if you don't have the coins to keep something like that going, and of course, a lot of us are on tight budgets and we have to prioritize our finances. But I'm here to show you today that there is a Photoshop-like tool that is free to use. And today we're going to work on an awesome poster together, and I want to show you exactly how that's done. Hi, I'm Anitra J from the Crafted Musician blog. I post weekly videos right here on YouTube helping musicians build a fan base and make money with music. Today I am going to show you how to create an amazing gig flyer from scratch for free. Stay tuned. If you want to learn more DIY hacks for your music career, subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to be personally notified every time we upload a new video. So today, as you can see, we are inside. The temperature outside is 37 degrees. Now, I love being outside. I love fresh air, especially in these mountains, but it is way too cold, so we're going to be inside today, and it's perfect because this is going to be a working segment. So tag along, and we are going to work together to create this flyer. So what I want you to do is pull up Free Photo Tool. Now, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So the first thing we're going to do is go to freephototool.com, and it's going to pull up a screen like this. Okay, this is a Photoshop-like tool. Now, I don't know how they're getting away with with this available here. I don't know, but hey, I am not going to complain, okay, because it's free and it is just like Photoshop, and I'm going to show you exactly why. So let's go ahead and create a flyer. I was looking online and I just love this red flyer. It's really attention grabbing, and so I want to create a flyer just like that for a potential show that I have coming up. I don't have any shows, but this is just for an example. I'm kind of on a hiatus. We did do a college tour a couple weeks back, and that was a lot of fun, but it's, you know, it's getting cold and it's getting to be the holidays, and just I'm on a little break. So anyways, but this is going to be a flyer that I'm going to use for maybe a show that I'm going to have in the future. Okay, so anyways, enough of that. We're going to create this flyer. I'm so excited because it's really cool. It's very appealing, grabs your attention, and I really like it. So we're going to just copy that. It looks like it could be 8.5 by 11, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go into this Photoshop tool here and click on File, New, and I'm going to set my parameters. So Anitra's flyer. Now, it's already says 8.5 by 11, so you can create whichever dimensions you want, and they also have preset dimensions here, so you can do social media, print, photo, whatever you want. So I'm gonna just choose print, but I already have my dimensions in here. Now, if I'm printing, I'm gonna go with 300 DPI, and I'd love to have a transparent background, but you can have a white, a black, or make a custom background, but my favorite is transparent. So I'm gonna click create here, and so I have my canvas for a flyer. Now, the next thing we're gonna do is pull in. The first thing we're gonna do is just pull Well, actually, we're going to do the gradient backdrop, okay? So let's look at my layers. I'm going to create a new layer, get rid of this background, and select the gradient tool. So for the gradients, you can choose whichever color you want. I'm going to stick with this red because I really like it. It just pops, you know. So I'm going to choose a couple colors of red. I'm going to choose a dark color red and a light color red. But once you select whatever colors you want, you can tell it whatever color you want on both sides, right? Select OK. Select OK, and then just draw a line in the canvas, and there is your gradient. Now I'm going to keep drawing it until I like the position. It's kind of finicky. That's nice. Now with gradients, you have to be really selective on which colors you choose. You don't want to have it too contrasting because it's going to kind of look gimmicky. I like to do simple versions of gradients because it just makes it look more smooth, makes the design look smoother and just more, what's the word I'm looking for? Consistent. So this is my backdrop and I'm going to use. And as far as the silhouette goes, I'm going to create my own silhouette just based on one of my pictures. So what we're going to do is go to File, Open in Place, and we're going to find a picture that I already have. So I picked this picture out. This is the picture I picked out. And so I'm just going to make it bigger. Make it bigger. I'm going to bring it down here. Okay, so this is the picture I'm going to use. Now, like I said, this is a silhouette, so we're going to have to do a little bit of massaging to actually make this a silhouette, okay? So what we're going to do, and this is going to be a lot of fun, guys. I love doing this. The first thing we need to do is rasterize it, so that will give us capabilities to change the, did I rasterize it? Okay, it looks like I already rasterized it. It gives us capabilities to change and make adjustments to the picture. So now that it's rasterized, let's close that. We're going to take the wand tool and just start deleting some of the outside of this picture. Okay, so when you see the red in the background, that's simply the other layer that I already created. See? So I'm taking out portions of my picture in the background, and what remains is the backdrop of the gradient. Okay, let's take some of that out. You can actually make it bigger to get some of the detail here. I didn't want to take that much. Anytime you do something, you make a mistake, you can always go back to undo and try it again. So there, I took out a bunch of the action in the backdrop. So now I have myself and I can create my silhouette. Okay, so in order to create the silhouette, this is really cool, guys. So we're going to go to the layer icon and select the layer. You're going to double click on that and it brings up all of these really cool things that you can do to your picture. we're going to select color overlay, and we're going to make it black. You can make it any color you want by just clicking on the color. See, I'm making it any color I want. Ooh, I actually like the red. I was going to make it black, but I think I like it to be a little red in it. That's kind of cool, actually. So I'm gonna keep it to be a little red. Gives it a little bit of contrast. And this one is very clean. It doesn't have the background in it like I have in mine, but I actually like the background. It gives it some ruggedness and some character. So I'm going to keep a little bit of my background in here. And you see how at the top it's kind of like the top of my picture. I'll show you here. The top of my picture only goes to about here. So the top is kind of bland. So what I'm going to do is copy some of my background and then paste it back into the top to give the top some more of that ruggedness. So I'm just going to use my square tool, rectangle select tool, and make sure that you have that layer selected and tell it to copy. So I'm going to copy and paste, just Control C. I'm going to create a new layer and then Control V. Now the new layer is coming in a light color, and I don't know why. So I'm just going to do my color overlay trick again and make it the same color as my silhouette. And there I've created another layer of this really cool backdrop. You can also make it bigger. To give it some more variation, you can make it bigger or make it smaller. You can also flip it. You can go to Edit, Transform, and Flip. I'm going to try flipping it horizontally, and then I'm going to flip it again vertically. So it kind of makes it more diverse here. I'm going to do another layer and make this one smaller and kind of fill in this section here. Wow, that is really cool. I'm going to rotate it just a little bit. There. Okay, so now I've created the silhouette and the backdrop, and it's coming out really nice. So what I want to do here, I have a bunch of different layers that are all the same backdrop. So I'm going to go ahead and merge my layers. That's kind of an advanced thing to do, but I like to merge some of the layers that are similar just to clean up my layer options. So now I only have 2 layers. It makes it a lot easier to see what you have going on. So now all of that is the same layer. Okay, now I do recommend that if you have different elements, to create different layers for different elements. Like we're about to make a text layer, so you don't want to have text on this layer because you don't have the flexibility to change just the text or to change just the backdrop or the silhouette. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. But let's go ahead and add a new layer. I think once you create a new text, it creates its own layer. Let's see. Yeah, so we don't have to add a new layer for text. It just creates its own layer. All right, so let's do that again. Okay, so I'm going to put my name in, Anitra. I already have my text selected that I want to use, I think. So if you want to make changes to your text, click on this little T icon and it brings up the text where you can change the font, you can change the size, you can change the different elements of the text. Like if you want to make it italics or strike through or bold, you can do that. That's interesting. I think I might keep that. Okay, so I'm going to select Great Vibes. Now I would like to have my first name and last name on a different layer. So I'm going to copy and paste and then change it to say my last name, Anitra J. I really don't like the fact that it's so... I'll just keep that. Okay, so Anitra J. Now I also want to create a description of my music because I just like for people to know what they're going to come listen to. And my description is acoustic soul, so I'm going to add that in. I'm going to change that to a different font just to kind of create some variation. And also that cursive font is kind of hard to read, so I don't want to go overboard with that. So I'm going to pick a sans serif font. It's really easy to read, and I'm going to make it smaller. Ooh, not that small. Okay, so acoustic soul, Anitra J. And lastly, they have their date, venue, time, and cost. So we're going to add date, venue, and time. Now we're not going to do it exactly like they have it, just because their font, they have some really cool font. I don't know what font they're using, but I'm not going to be able to find that kind of font in this short amount of time. So I'm going to do a variation, but I'm also going to put my date and time and venue down at the bottom. So I'm just going to pick a random date, November 21st, at Silos, random venue, and time 7 p.m. and cost. Now I'm going to do some massaging of this text. First of all, I want to make it all caps, and I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. I might want to create a line, I don't know, just to kind of break it up a little. I don't know if that's gonna... I just went in here and created a shape, and you can tell it what color you want it to be. I'm just kind of playing around with this because I wanted the date to stand out a little bit more. You know what I mean? It kind of hides down there, so that's what I'm trying to do. I don't know, that doesn't really look good. Let's hide that and see what. Okay, so we're just going to keep that as is. So that is the flyer, and it looks really good, and it's very similar to this flyer, and we were able to create that in a free Photoshop tool online. So you don't have to have Photoshop in order to create Photoshop-like flyers. You can do so for free on freephototool.com. Now, when it comes to getting this onto your computer, all you have to do is go to File, Export As, and we're going to export it as a JPEG. And now you have some options here. I'm going to keep everything the way it is. Click Save, and now you can download it onto your computer. Now, if you have any further questions, feel free to hit the comment section below and let me know. I pay attention to my comments and I will do my best to answer you as soon as I have the time. Now, if you have any other ideas on what we can do to work together, if you have any questions on any other type of softwares or anything like that, let's work together, learn together. And I am actually going to start a new series on this channel. It's going to be the Music Biz Clinic, and we are going to be doing working segments where I show you how I do things, how I use different tools, different online versions of things, different documents. The next video I want to do is show you how to create a profit and loss statement for musicians, for example. So stay tuned, and if you have any ideas on what we can do, let me know down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and keep it crafty. Head on over to thecraftymusician.com for more tips and tricks to level up your music career. Talk to you soon.